the Australian dollar should be valued in BCH, not the other way around. Bitcoin Jason here. Hey, just been a long time since videos. I've been doing a lot of research and I've been posting about the price difference between Bitcoin Cash and the Australian dollar, how much the Australian dollar can actually buy for stuff. You know, it seems today that I can buy more with the stats that I have than with the dollars that I had, say, 5 years ago. Now, let me explain why. Back in 2020, the Bitcoin Cash was just under $300 Australian, right? And you know, so if we to take that measurement of the Australian dollar, Bitcoin Cash has been at $300 thereabouts. They've done so much printing, the Australian government has. They've done so much printing of the Australian dollar that the purchasing power now of Bitcoin Cash is 155%. Now, you could say, well, that's because it's pegged on a global use. You know, you're not just having Australians use Bitcoin Cash, you've got people around the world. That's granted, right? But the annual inflation figures from the government was about 22%. It's a little bit under, but about 22%, right? And so when you compare this to the American dollar, which has done the same thing with the printing of money and stuff like that during COVID and that, it's between 25 to 27%. So against Bitcoin Cash, both the American dollar and the Australian dollar have lost purchasing power. Okay, so I'm not up to date with the American inflation, but you know, to have a figure of like pegging it to the Australian dollar, which it's American dollar, that's what us Australians do. We peg it to the US dollar because it's the global reserve currency. Well, if Bitcoin Cash was the global reserve currency, well, then we should have 155% at least more purchasing power. Why is this? Because there's only 21 million coins. There's only a few million left to go before the whole coin supply's out in the ecosystem. Once the richest man spends those stats, it goes to whoever worked for it. So we don't have this the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. We're getting those who provide great value getting rich of it, and those providing no value and getting poor from it. So I guess that's probably a bad thing if you're a bludger. And then you're going to have to rely on your churches. But that's not my point. My point is the global reserve currency should be based on Bitcoin Cash. At least the Australian dollar should be based on Bitcoin Cash. So Bitcoin Cash should be the price point, and the Australian dollars should be should be priced in BCH. And you'll find that if the government does that they'll find, and everyone will wake up, including this poor lady that I dealt with at a shop, is she's experiencing that she's just making ends meet because people's disposable income has dropped around about that 30% because everything is more and more expensive. Now, I'm just thankful that I have been stacking stats, been saving, you know, what I've done. Do you realize that if you saved 10% of what you worked, so if you saved, just say $100, right, from January 1, 2020, you would have at least $150 now, $155. No, if you save $100, it'd be $200. Yeah, it'd be double, nearly double. It'd be double in a bit. Anyway, that's my little rant. Thought I'd put a video out. I'm a bit camera shy these days, and that. So yeah, I suppose I better get back in front of the camera. Like First Mill used to say, Jace, you need to be making videos every day. every day making videos. I'm not that extrovert, but perhaps I should be making some more videos. The real motivation for this video is that anyone that knows me is, it's not about the price that makes me excited. What makes me excited is seeing Bitcoin Cash being the tool to replace fiat currency. I mean, that was Bitcoin's dream from the start. The dream was to replace the banks, to replace the banking system. And unfortunately, people have forgotten that. And so we've got Bitcoin, BTC, Bitcoin captured, or core, Bitcoin captured. They are going towards second layer, third party, or Visa, MasterCard control, where you just redraw it as an asset, like a house, or some sort of fund that you redraw from. Where Bitcoin Cash is staying true to its word. So it's sad, but what's even, those that know me, what's even hurts more, and this is why I don't post videos up, is that people that know me, whenever I put something up about the price, they are thinking that I'm talking about the price. I'm talking about it being replaced. It's fundamentally being exercised right in front of our noses, that without even speculations and big companies pumping and putting, you know how many ads and paid for articles I see on my phone about XRP and all these sorts of rubbish, right? That claim to do what Bitcoin Cash is doing. They claim that it's doing, but it's not. It's just like a way for us to all get scammed again, like going off the gold standard from having written receipts of what gold we got deposit, you know? I guess, hey, without any pump and dump type, scammy type publicity, Bitcoin Cash is traveling really well with just the basic ecosystem. It is trending above inflation, like 22%. It's beating it for like heading above inflation. It's 100 in total with inflation and dollar devaluation and stuff like that. It's Bitcoin Cash is worth 155% more than it was 5 years ago. So, you know, call it B Cash, B Trash, whatever. But as far as I'm concerned, you need to have B Cash because cash is king. So Bitcoin Cash is cash, and it's the way of the future, and it is not run by any institution, government, or third party where they can basically control me with it. And it's great for business because it's a perfect record of receipt if I need it, and it's got the lovely thing about it where you can have it as cash, where you can have the privacy functions of it as well. So we can't do that with BTC anymore. BTC is too expensive to have the privacy function on. So anyway, that is another video entirely. Love you all. You are, I am, we're all Satoshi. Let's do our part. Be positive and stay classy. Bye.